Not sure if my audio stream is live, but if it is, just to let the people watching know that we're just a couple of minutes behind getting started. There was an extra end game in one of the men's quarterfinals. It was still a practice session. This stream will feature the game between McDonald and Carruthers. It'll start momentarily.
Come on up. Okay, Will. What do you got? You got one, you got two,
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just about to get underway now for this semifinal action. A little late started just because there was an extra end game in the quarters this morning, so they give the teams a little bit of time. The ice crew had to get everything ready. This stream will have the game between Reid Carruthers and Jordon McDonald, both teams based out of Manitoba. Probably pretty familiar with each other, but 13 draws into this event. If you can believe it, this is my first chance to see these two teams this weekend. It's also a good chance to talk about the little bit of musical chairs that we saw from some of these curling teams last year. Carruthers' team last year being skipped by Brad Jacobs. He stepped away from the team to join Brendan Botcher's old team. Catlin Schneider has stepped in to play third with them. Catlin, of course, was skipping in BC last year, but from Saskatchewan originally, so I know him quite well. Those of you who were joining us hoping to see this game start right at 12, you got a chance to see a bit of the practice session, which was enough to confirm for me one of the things that I wasn't sure of. And here in the playoffs, the higher seeded team, in this case, the McDonald team, they come in with a record of 5-0. Reid Carruthers with a record of 4-1 through the round robin play. The McDonald's the higher seeded team. He has last rock here in the opening end of the play. They still get the practice session before the game, but no draw to the button. Second for the Carruthers team is Derek Semigalski, looking for the come around. Connor Negavan has been pulling double duty this week, playing lead for Carruthers and coaching Caitlin Laws as well. For the McDonald team, the lead is Cameron Olofsson. The second, Elias Hamanicki. I apologize in advance if I've got that pronunciation incorrect. Dallas Burgess is the third, and of course, Jordon McDonald the skip. This is a young team, but they've been around for a couple of years in Manitoba. Had some success in juniors, and last year lost the semifinal at the Manitoba Tankard to the eventual winners, and that's the Carruthers team. They went through the provincials last year. Jordon McDonald with a record of 6-2. Their only two losses came to Carruthers. Early opportunity here for the Carruthers team with that last unsuccessful attempt. He can throw the second guard. Needs to stop. This is in danger of overcurling. Definitely leaves the angle where they can play the double peel over the top and try to run it back towards shot stone. The hit across the top will catch the stone in the rings. Everything leaves, nothing in play. We may be headed for a blank here in this opening end. A new member of the Carruthers team. This is the third, Caitlin Schneider. Quick turnaround for some of these players. Quick turnaround for the announcers as well. I had just enough time to refill the coffee mug, and I changed my microphone. Hopefully you can hear me as well, but I understand I had a couple of times in the last game where a 15-month Irish setter kept chiming in, and he's an adorable little fella, but his strategy suggestions are questionable at best, so perhaps best if we don't listen too much to him this game. Play now in this opening end is into the house. The teams will try to exchange hits. Expect if this can carry through, Jordon McDonald will try to blank this opening end, keep last rock into the second. With that hit on the nose, I think this Yellowstone is completely out of the rings. Jordon McDonald asking for the straight peel now, roll the shooter out of play. If you were to nose it again, Reid Carruthers would try to come around it. Makes the hit, does roll the shooter out of play. Skipstone's yet to come here in the first end. Reid will just look to draw towards the button with his first one. Expect Jordon McDonald to hit it, try to stay right there, and then you may see Reid try to roll somewhere with his last one into what they think might be a trickier spot. At the very least, not let him throw the same shot twice in a row. I mentioned Connor Negevin has been pulling double duty, coaching the Caitlin Laws team as well. Laws team playing in the women's semifinal right now. Now, if they do call timeout, I don't think he's going over. Makes the hit, rolls to the edge of the 12-foot. Reid Carruthers with his final stone here in the first end. Just looking to hit and stay right there. That will force Jordon McDonald to make the hit and roll out for the blank. Final stone, Jordon McDonald. First end, looking for the blank. Rush was on it all the way down, makes the hit, has enough to roll away. We've got a blank to open things up here in this men's semifinal. Jordon McDonald, Reid Carruthers, and number 2 after this.
Gripper first.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, really well. What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
"20 women's teams, 20 men's teams began play Friday morning. Just 4 left in each division. The semifinals here in the men's division. We've got Jordon McDonald against Reid Carruthers. No score through the opening end of play. This is the 13th draw of the weekend for me. I've watched a lot of those commercials run all weekend long, and I'll tell you the thing that's missing. If you represent a coffee company out there, we need to talk about you sponsoring this curling. We start things off here in the second end with a center guard in a corner. I'm not sure that they were looking for the second center guard there, but that's what they're going to get. Cameron Olafson being asked to come around on the intern side now, and with the position of those 2 yellow guards, you can afford to play this a little bit tighter, because I think the second guard, or the one tighter to the rings, it doesn't look like it's touching the center line. Hard to tell. No tick zone being used here. This is not curling on them at all, so they're actually going plan B, just trying to promote their own corner. That was not very close at all to what they were playing, but it worked out for them. Taps the red stone and leaves the shooter to cover it. Derek Samagalski now being asked to play that same intern come around. Give them a chance to go to school, see whether that last stone just didn't curl or perhaps it was set back a little bit. This one's going early and hard. Had to work a little bit just to get it by the guards. Because of that, it will slide to the back forefooot, but it is shot rock, still buried. McDonald looking at the peel. There's a chance the first one's coming into the second red guard. That's what he's looking at now. Still wants to hit it just a little bit off the nose so that he can roll his shooter to the other corner. You double the yellows with a nose hit, but and you'd leave the center guard. Elias Hamanicki with the hit, catches the second one. It does come onto the red, but the back end of the red, bringing the yellow into the rings, and it moves the red stone to the back 8. Carruthers stone at the back of the 4-foot, still shot rock. No guards left. 3 rocks in the rings. 2 belonging to Carruthers. Looking to make the 1 red stone go away and sit 3 for the time being. They're going to have to go on this for a line if he wants to hold the shooter. Got to get by his own. Makes the hit. Quiet weight saves him. He rolls across. Does group the 2 Yellowstones. McDonald looking at the hit and roll in front of the other yellow. This one's curling early. Wanted to stay just a little bit on the broom side. Now they're going to plan B. If you're not going to roll in front, try to roll behind the other yellow. Well, they give it a good try. It rolls a little bit in that direction, but still at least mostly open. Might be able to see just all. Calvin Schneider now. Look to hit and roll in front of his own stone at the back of the 4-foot. Continue to sit 3 if he can make this. Makes the hit. He comes across. Touches his own stone back, but leaves it in the back 12-foot. Shot stone he just threw in the back of the 4. Does sit 3 with that stone just biting the top of the 12-foot. McDonald will look to make the double at the back right now. May still have the chance for the blank here in the second end. Looks like it's going to be tough to get a deuce, and this might have been inside. It was past the nose when he let go. Just picks the one out, rolls his shooter out of play. Now it might be hard to get the blank. There's probably a slash double available on the 2 yellows that are still in the rings, but you lose your shooter. Reid Carruthers is going to try to put this in a spot where he doesn't leave a double. Sit 3. You might see Jordon McDonald switch gears here a little bit. If you feel like you're going to get forced anyway, you may as well make an attempt to get forced to 2. He's got a rock at the back. He could freeze 2. Could try to come around that stone that's just half of the 12-foot as well. Alan Schneider looking to draw wide. Pretty much right where Reid Carruthers had put his broom. Carruthers sits 3. McDonald looking for the double on the 2 on the right-hand side as we look at Jordon and thinking that he can hold the shooter in the rings. post this time, sweeping for a little bit of curl. Got the first one. Got the second one. A little unfortunate. Jammed it. Leaves it in the back of the rings. Shooter does stay for second shot. Expect Reid will have to make a play on it. Could have been interesting if he had it rolled for just a sliver of a biter and it was already third. Reid might have ignored it. These teams did play 5 round-robin games, and then the quarterfinal this morning to get to the semi. But still, probably over the course of the entire event, haven't thrown a lot of hits out this wide, so they just had a brief discussion about which turn they want to play. Like to stay right there. If you roll back towards the other yellow stone, you give them a chance to make the double and stay in the rings. Needs to curl if he's going to stick around. It will not. Makes the hit, but he rolls out of play. That gives Jordon McDonald an opportunity to try this slash double and see if he can't salvage the blank here. Not really any good chance for 2 here. He knows he's going to have a shot for 1 if he needs it. This is his chance to get the blank. Make the double here. He'll only have to deal with 1 rock on his last one. Makes the hit. Everybody judging the angle on the back one. Does clip it and spills them both out of play. Just 2 stones left to come. Nothing in play. Reid looking at where he wants to put this last one. I don't think Catlin's understanding. He wants to throw Broom at the center line, throw towards the corner. There we go. Try to put this in a similar spot to where Catlin Schneider had actually thrown his draw, and then you make Jordon throw the other side of the sheet to the one he just threw. You don't really expect to miss at this level, but you like to move the shots around. It gives you your best possibility of getting a half shot. Well, he's just got enough to bite the 12-foot. Would have liked to have been all the way in the rings. Now, even if you did get a nose hit, it's not going to be in the rings. Only thing Jordon McDonald doesn't want to do now is cross it. He'll be looking to hit Broomside, just roll to the boards. Can't imagine with the weight he's going to throw here, there's much danger this is over-curled. Final stone, second end, looking for the blank. Makes the hit. Again, rolls out of play. No score through 2. Jordon McDonald continues with last rock. And we come back for the third.
stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on it.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an...
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss. But it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be.
Men's semi-final of the Saville Shootout, presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. No score through 2 ends of play. Jordon McDonald continues to have last rock. Connor Negev in the lead for the Carruthers team. I mentioned earlier he's pulling double duty this week. He's also coaching the Caitlin Laws team. Of course, Selena plays on that team. So that means he hasn't had a lot of rest. He's either on the ice as a player. The men and the women have played alternating draws, so the draws that he's got off the ice with his own team, he's in the stands as a coach. I was just thinking during the break, I don't remember too often seeing Connor wearing a toque out there to play, but when you've spent that many hours, fatigue can start to creep in, and maybe good awareness there. He's wearing the toque, that little bit of heat retention as you start to get tired. It's been a long weekend. He's been on as many draws as I have. Cameron Olofsson looking to come around now. Sweeping for the curl so they can get a good piece of it buried. Does look to be about 2/3, maybe 3/4 behind cover. Lighting the top of the button. Reid asking Derek to come down, sit on the face of it. Not really worried about moving it yet. It's more important to get the line. Sits on the face, nudges it a couple of inches, not quite dead to the nose, but leaves a good angle for the Carruthers team. Elias Humanicki now being asked to come down, sit on the yellow, and he'd like to get at least to the nose here, maybe even to the inside if he could. If you stay on the high side at all, that yellow rock's not going anywhere when you hit it later. Down to just 4 sheets in play here. I mentioned Connor's tooth. There's Elias wearing a heavier jacket as well. I think I saw one of the women's games I was doing earlier in the week, and I think one of the Japanese skips had thrown a heavier jacket on as well. So it might be a little cold in the Saville Center this early in the season, compensating for the temperature outside. Of course, with only 4 sheets going, fewer bodies out there. Derek Semigalski looking to make the hit on the red. Catches the outside of the red with a little bit of drag. Takes the yellow one to the red at the back and leaves it right there. So Carruthers sitting 1 in the 4-foot. It is just fully open. Room for Elias to get to the inside, I think, and perhaps roll behind cover. I don't know if that's what they were calling. They could be trying to roll away, try to get the play away from the center guards. Sweeping for curl, so I think they're trying to get the roll under. They're going to get caught right in between. Didn't roll away, didn't really roll under either. So that leaves the same shot for, in this case now, Catlin Schneider, third stones. See if he can get to the inside and roll under cover. By the front one, he's going to need to finish a little bit to get to the inside. This has got nice line coming in. Gets the hit, that nice quiet weight. It's about half under cover. Dallas Burgess now being asked to roll away from the center guards. Can't get to the inside anymore. Would be hard even to get to the nose. Sweeping for line, not just to get by the guards. They want to make sure they roll away from the guard situation. And just enough weight to get it through the back of the rings. It's still in play. Catlin Schneider will be looking to roll back behind the center guard now. Hope they throw a little bit more weight on this one. He needs a 3-foot roll. This starting to curl on them. Has to hold the shooter. They'll make the hit. Shooter rolls all the way across. Will come to rest back 12, maybe a nibble of the back 8, and it is behind the red corner guard. So Dallas Burgess will try to tuck around the center guards. McDonald will see if he can't generate his deuce here in the third. A lot of room by the guards. The question now is, where's this one going to stop? It's a little bit heavy. Come to the back 8. Still a nibble, I guess, of the back 4-foot. Reid Carruthers looking to follow it down. I don't know if he's trying to come right down to the face of it or if he wants to stay in front of the tee line. You get dead bury in front of the tee line, you'd take that, but we're on to draw number 13 of the weekend, and the Rocks just aren't finishing quite as hard as they were early. Still plenty of curl. I'll tell you what, if you were watching with us on Friday, you'll notice a lot of those rocks, as they were coming into the house, they almost looked like they were coming sideways. And as you play more games, they will settle down a little bit. Brushers pick this up right away. Needs 4 foot to be shot. His draw last end just bit the 12. That's going to come up well short of the rings. And that should likely just be, just wait for Reid. It's not the same stone that he threw last end, unless he's throwing them in the other order here. Now, if Jordon McDonald can make the come around here with his first, sit somewhere in the top 8 foot, maybe even just bite the top 4, 3 is in play. Reid Carruthers might have nothing but the intern through the port on the other side, and it might be there. Again, talking about that curl we saw on Friday, with the amount of curl we had early in the event, it would have been tough to make that port. It still is not going to look easy. First things first, Jordon needs to put a good draw in here. Brusher's really just cleaning, so they must like the weight, just waiting on the line. This is where they've been curling all weekend, but this one a little strong as well. It will slide to the back 4 foot, just behind the tee line. Oh, there's an interesting camera angle. By sliding as deep as he did, that leaves room for Reid Carruthers to come down, sit right on top of that stone. Why, if he could sit on top, maybe get just ever so slightly to the inside corner, I don't know if Jordon McDonald has a shot to score. Big shot here for Reid Carruthers. Facing 2, both behind the tee line. Short on his first draw. You saw him give it a little bit at the release, and the brushers have not touched it, and now looking for curl. Apologies, we're having a little bit of trouble with that camera. Comes down, taps the stone back a little bit, but he was ever so slightly on the outside of it. McDonald thinking he can get to the inside, pass it by the 2 reds. This could be for 3. Certainly this has been makeable all weekend long now. It does look like the rocks have straightened out just a little bit, but the last couple of draws still had plenty of room by the guard. If he finds the right line coming by the guard, I think he can get to the inside, tap it through, and get his 3. One thing I know for certain, I know we're not headed for a blank here in the third. Somebody's scoring something. Jordon McDonald with his final stone, hoping it's 3 for him. They're on the brush right away. Had to start the broom a little tighter. Nice draw on his final stone. Picks up the steal of one. He'll have the 1-0 lead after 3 ends of play. It'll be Jordon McDonald with last rock once again in the 4th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Semi-final Monday afternoon in the Saville Shootout. Reid Carruthers, Jordon Montgomery, after a couple of blanks in 1 and 2. Carruthers with a steal of 1 and 3 now has a 1-0 lead as we play in the 4th. McDonald with last rock. Corner guard maybe a little higher than they would have liked. Connor Negavan looking to come around his center now. Well, no shortage of curl in that spot. Well, we saw those out turns going away, which would be the other side of the sheet, running a little straighter there. Now, I will say, this is 13 draws for me, and I did have one game earlier on, and all the sheets look the same, so it's hard to remember which one it was. All the sheets look the same on the camera view, but I did see one of the games earlier on where that side of the sheet was just a little bit straighter. Certainly didn't look like there was any shortage of curl for Connor with that draw. Be something to keep an eye on here as we go through this semifinal. Cameron Olofsson looking to come around both of the Carruthers stones. Brings it into the top of the 4-foot. Dead buried. McDonald sitting 1. Migalski now looking to follow that stone down, sit on the corner of it. That does look more like the kind of curl we've seen all weekend. It was still on the outside of the 4-foot line when it passed the guard and gets onto the corner of that red. It might just be that this is the sheet with one side a little straighter than the other, and it's not that it doesn't curl. You're still going to need 3.5 feet of ice to make a draw, but it doesn't finish quite as hard on that other turn. Hamanicki looking to come down now, break up the freeze on those two stones, get to the inside of it if he could. Got to get by the yellow at the top of the 12. Oh, that's a great shot. Just got by the stone at the top of the 12-foot. Makes the little tap. You can see how it changed the angle. The red, yellow in the 8-foot goes past the red that they just tapped up to the button. Angles aren't great for Carruthers right now, so he's going to see if they can't manipulate them as well. If you get the little tap back, red, yellow, tap the yellow back, and then stay a little bit on the high side, you could line up yellow, red onto the red shot stone. They're also looking at coming around from the in-turn side, which may be a straighter turn. I'm only speculating based on what I saw last end. Going to give it a try. If you get the good finish here, get to about half of that Yellowstone, pump it up onto the red, break up the freeze on the red-yellow, and leave yourself a good angle on the yellow-red. You could also get your shooter to roll out of the way and maybe have a path to shot rock. They've been on this all the way down for curl, starting to move now. Get good finish on that one. Gets the double tap. Shooter stayed actually pretty close to the center line. He's actually got the angle slash on the yellow onto shot rock available, and the yellow red at the top is overlap. Hard for good with that. Might be able to see enough of his own to split it into the top of the 4-foot, get his shooter out of the way of the back one. I won't do anything with the yellows at the top of the 12-foot, and he is a little concerned about just how many yellows are sitting up there in an area that Reid Carruthers can use them. Easiest one to get rid of is the one that was just thrown, so they're going to play the hit on it. They talked about rolling just underneath the guard or rolling well past it. Either one is good. You might be able to roll a corner freeze that can be quite frozen, but corner onto the yellow on the other side of the center line. Sweeping for curl early. He's got the hit. The question will be how far we roll. Would have liked to stay on top of that yellow. Rolls just a little bit past it out into the open. Might be okay where it is. Hard to tell if there's a port between the yellow and the red. That's what Reid's looking at. If there's a port between the yellow and the red, you play the slash on the red behind into the red of the 4-foot, and your shooter comes across and kicks the one that was just thrown. If you can get between the first two without touching them, you might get rid of all 3 reds here. Just enough room to do that. All three reds go. All three yellows stay. He did touch the one back a little bit, so shot rock the one now at the back of the 8-foot. Second and third belonging to Carruthers at the top of the 12. Outstanding shot by Callan Schneider. Jordon McDonald does have last rock here in the fourth in, but still doesn't have a real great way to get in there to try to use that guard, maybe generate a deuce. So he's going to have to make a play on the yellows at the top of the rings. Sweeping for Curl, he's going to be a little on the outside, does catch the one at the back, so he makes the double. Shooter hangs around to bite the edge of the 12. Shot stone still buried. The discussion point here for Carruthers is he asked if he wanted to hit it. He's looking for something else. He doesn't need to hit it, but what else do you have here? And once they've decided to hit it, the next part of the question is, do you try to roll all the way across behind the center guard, or do you just stay right there? You don't want to roll halfway for sure. With that broom, I think they're going to throw some weight here and try to roll 6 feet in behind the center guard. Callan Schneider's so good at these. As soon as they realize it's going to roll too far, roll it all the way out of play. They don't want to leave something in the back of the house. Jordan's first thought is run the guard back, try to double the 2 yellows. Dallas Burgess on his out turn. The big weight. Makes the hit. Oh, just drives it by the stone at the top of the 12. Shooter stays for a corner guard. All this discussion is about what do you think the opponent's going to do. First discussion was that they'd play the center guard. And I think the only reason they talked about other shots is they're a little worried. That shot stone, the stone that you're protecting, is only in the 12-foot. If you make the guard good here and long with only 2 stones left to come, there is a chance that Jordon McDonald will just come around everything, try to get his deuce. They did talk about, ever so briefly talk about coming into the side of the 4-foot, forcing Jordan to play a nose hit double, and they'd hit and roll presumably with their last one and get the force that way. Sticking with the center guard, they'll want this fairly long. Get it tight, he'll try the run double again. That just needed to stop. It slid forever. What's the line? And as I said, McDonald, knowing he's going to get forced if he just peels the guard, decides if we're going to get forced, let's get forced to 2. You try to draw around the 2 in the center. He thinks he's got enough room yet. There is a port. he can get behind his own 2 corners. The only problem I see with this shot is if you make it too good, you force Reid Carruthers to draw around his own 2 in the middle, and if he makes that, it's probably a steal. If you come around the center first, and it's tricky because they are 2 yellow rocks and you can't be too close to the tee line, you're definitely going to have a chance to score that way, and you might have a chance for 2. This is a tough port as well. Both brushes down early. Just a firm clean right now, waiting for the line call. Got to make the port. Made the port. Now the question is, where is it going to stop? Comes to rest, full back 8. It is buried, over buried perhaps. Behind the tee line though, Reid could follow it down. Still not an easy port for Reid. That was a little bit heavy. It's in the back of the, would be equivalent to back 4 foot. And he almost hit the yellow guard. He was closer to the yellow guard than he was to the red. So if you come through there with cold draw weight, there's a chance you over curl. You'd have to have that same kind of weight, that back tee line weight. I think that's what they're discussing. They're worried about over curling it if he throws cold draw. Brushers never really put a brush to it with Jordon McDonald's first stone. A little bit of cleaning out of his hand. They dropped off about halfway down and never touched it again. And almost hit the guard near the center line. So if you had cold draw weight here, or weight that the sweepers had to take it, there's a danger this over curls. You'll need to be close to right to the face of this red stone. Again, Brushers just cleaning. The line call coming on now. He wants to stay at least at the nose, maybe the inside corner. This is tighter to the red guard. Needs to bite the 4 foot. Now it's got to stop. Did it stop in time? I think it did. Did leave room, though, for Jordon to throw basically the same shot he just threw. If he gets any touch on the inside of that yellow, just move it a few inches. So Carruthers sitting 1 right now. He's got the 1 point lead as we play here in the 4th. Jordon McDonald in the hacks. Looking to send the 3rd rock in a row through that port. See if he can't just nudge Reid Carruthers' rock sideways a few inches and pick up the deuce. Take the lead here after 4. Brushers just cleaning, waiting for the line call, and the line call comes out that this needs to curl by the yellow guard. He's got a piece of the back one, but with the extra weight that he threw, probably didn't need, carries through to the back of the 12-foot. He will move the Yellowstone far enough that he does pick up his single. We're all tied up here, one apiece after 4 ends of play. Carruthers will have last rock for the first time in the 5th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Just 2 points on the board through this first 4 ends of the men's semifinal, 1 point on either side. McDonald started the first half of the game with last rock. It'll be Reid Carruthers with last rock in the 5th. Center guard thrown up to start this end. Now Connor Negovan looking to come around it. And gets maybe a quarter behind the guard. It'll be something to watch out for. We're still playing this out-turn side going away, and this was the turn that had me questioning, is it just a little bit straighter on this side of the sheet? Not able to get fully under cover there. Nice draw here by Cameron Olofsson. Comes down, sits right on the face, just ever so slightly on the inside corner. Connor will look to come down now, sit on it again. Probably wants to break these up a little bit. Guard is on the center line. If he ticks it off, and he did, that's a violation of the no tick zone. So the guard goes back, the shooter removed from play. This one where the teams are trying to get an idea. Did anybody look to see exactly where this was before it got moved? Looks pretty close to me. Peeking at the replay as well. Actually, I think if anything, it probably still needs to move over a little bit towards the center line. But once the teams agree, that's where it stays. If it is ever so slightly farther to the left as we look at it now, it gives them a little bit more room to make this come around and bury it. This might be the turn that curls a little more. When you look at the broom, he's got just off the edge of the 8 foot here. Rusher's picking it up early. And this is really curling. Already on the guard. Might not have got all the way out to the broom on that one. Definitely no shortage of curl over there, though. Reid trying to line it up, wondering whether or not he can either kill everything or completely miss the stones in the house. The problem for Reid is coming from this angle. That red at the top of the 8 might be staying no matter what he does. Gonna look for the double peel anyway. Let's see what happens with the 2 stones in the rings. Wants to hit the center line side of that first stone, get his shooter out of the way. Probably close to a nose hit. The nose hit it by the 2 in the rings. But he left the yellow-red at the top. The guards overlapped. Jordan's looking at a couple of different options here. You could come around from the intern side. You got stagger on the guards, and then the stagger on the 2 in the house. Neither one of them would be able to get towards shot rock. He seems to be leaning towards making a play on shot stone. Red onto yellow. I didn't mind his draw idea. You play the draw, you're thinking about the steal. You play this hit, you're thinking about making sure you get the force. So red onto yellow will kill the yellow. Might have liked to have spreaded those reds out a little bit more, and I think he wanted more weight than that. The yellow hangs around the back of the 12 foot. Probably a double available there. If you hit it right, you actually might even be able to spin up in behind. You'd only be 12 foot. Derek Semigelski needs to hold the line by the guards, but didn't hit the rock first that he needed to, just kind of caught them at the same time. We'll leave the 1 red in, and his shooter comes through and kills their yellow out of the back of the house. McDonald sitting 1 right now, chance to come around the guards. Third stones here. This is Dallas Burgess. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Getting called on for line a bit now. It's really starting to curl towards that guard. They had to go a little to get it by. Hoping it stops. Grabs a piece of the button and just fully in front of the tee line. I think they're leaning towards double peeling the guards. Just thinking it's one of these cases where you see a lot of these top teams so focused on hammering the even ends. If this was a 6th instead of the 5th, you might see them try to follow that down. For now, I think they want to make sure they keep the blank alive. So looking to double peel the guards, and they call the brush on right away. He wants to hit this on the outside a little bit. It's going to cross. Makes the 2 guards go away. Does leave his shooter up for a center guard. Shot rock now mostly exposed on the intern side. Chance for McDonald to bring another one in. Opting to play the out turn to get there. By the guard, the sweepers are backed away from this one as well. And this one's not going to slow down for him. It'll slide to the back of the button. McDonald sitting 3. Carruthers looking at coming down, just tapping that red stone. Leave a red pocket at the back of the forefoot and your shooter in front of it. Could play the double on the reds too. You probably leave your shooter in the open if you do that. I believe they've settled on the draw tap. Yes, looks like it with that speed. Derek Samigelski on the brush right away. This turn, if anything, has been the one that curls a little harder. Going to have to go just to get by the guard. He's by the front one. Don't think he's going to hit the redstone at the front of the forefoot. He goes actually right by it. Catches the one at the back. Pushes it back a couple of inches. Does stay for shot rock. Jordon McDonald here with his first stone, looking just to come down and sit on top of that stone. You could, if you were greedy, you could try to move it. The problem with that is then Reid Carruthers would have room to come down and move 1 or 2 red rocks. If you can freeze right on it, this stone's not going anywhere on the next shot. It might have the pinhole covered, and Reid would need 2 shots to move it. Both brushers pick this up right out of his hand. Wants to be all the way down to it. They have not picked up yet. The line looks really good if they can get it there. Oh, outstanding job by the brushers. Comes down, sits right on the corner of that yellow stone. I think the red is shot. And Reid Carruthers is in some trouble here in the 5th end. Needs 2 shots just to get that red one out of there right now. If you play to get it out of there on the first one, you're going to have to lose your own yellow, and then there's a chance you're shooting against 3 or 4 with your last one. This almost might be a spot where you have to just concede the steal of one. I think what they're looking at is if you can come down and nudge the stone, so it's playing from the other side, probably the in-turn. Nudge the red at the side of the button and come and sit on the corner of the other one, maybe break them up. Right now, there's no way to get that red stone out. The one that was just thrown. You'd have to get rid of this red one and or move the yellow. It's right behind it. This is probably the safest shot for Reid. A chance to break up that freeze at the back without having to lose his own stone. Rushers are going to want to stay close here. We've seen a couple of rocks really curl hard on this side. Well, they're actually sweeping for some curl here. Wants to get to the inside of that red stone. Gets just to the nose, taps it back, does kill one red. Carruthers sits second and third right now. You can see a piece of shot rock. That's what Jordon looking at. He could probably pick it out right now for one. Boy, if you could ever come down, that's what I'm looking at. If you could ever come down, sit on the nose of that again. I don't know what Reid would have. Might have to throw it away and give you one. I think that's the shot, and the best part of it for Jordon McDonald is he just threw it. If you just straight guard, Reid Carruthers plays the slash in on the red at the top of the 8-foot, tries to pick the one off the button. You come in and sit on top of it again, he can't do that. There's a chance that only the yellows leave. The one thing, I don't know if they would have discussed this or not, but if your line is absolutely perfect here, you're right to the face or maybe even slightly to the inside, you could actually tap. You only have to move that red back about 8 inches. You'd be sitting 2. And I don't know how he moves either one of them. But you've got to be to the inside if you're playing that. So that's a line call. You play the same shot, leave it up to your third in the house, and once you've got the line for the tap, you call the brushers on. So it's got a little bit tighter line early. Line looks really good coming in. They actually have switched now, looking for that little bit of a bump if they can get it. It actually comes up just a little bit light. Well, the slash is still there if he wants to play it. Carruthers sitting second and third. I don't know how else he scores. There is a little bit of risk. If you were ever thin on the first one and caught the one that was just delivered, it will go into the yellow, and the top stone probably comes back and picks the one off the back of the button. But we're talking about being real thin on that first stone. If you're too thick on it and just pick your own out of the back of the button, that doesn't change things any from what they are now. So you're not hurting yourself by taking a shot at it. don't know if there's any room between that red and the yellow rock. I don't think you could pick it clean, but drive it onto those two, kill them all. At yellow at the top of the 4-foot would score 1. If you could pick it clean, it's for 2. I think it's the only shot he's got to score, so he's going to give it a go. Slash the red at the top of the 8-foot. Into the red on the button. The reds will fly. You should likely lose the yellow behind it, but that yellow stone at the top of the 4-foot would then be the counter. They're on the brush right away on this one. This side might be a little straighter, but they still have to hold it. Looks like it's going to over curl on him. Drives it by everything. Quick look around. It is a steal of 1. Jordon McDonald with a 2-1 lead now after 5 ends of play. Carruthers will have last rock in the 6th.
Gripper first.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
We've certainly been treated to some excellent curling all weekend here from the Saville Shootout. And I will say today I've had the men's quarterfinal, went to an extra end this morning, and we're having an outstanding match here in the semifinal. Jordon McDonald with a steal of 1 in the 5th. Takes the 2-1 lead as we play the 6th now against Reid Carruthers. It's 13 draws for me this weekend, and I have to admit I'm just realizing now, I had mentioned earlier this is a repeat from a rematch from last year's Manitoba semifinal. The other men's semifinal is a rematch from last year's Saskatchewan final. Ryland Kleider playing Mike McEwen in the other men's semifinal. The 2 winners will move on to play in the final this afternoon, scheduled for 3 o'clock local time. Now, we were a little late starting with the semifinal because of an extra end game this morning. We've got some tight matchups here, so can't rule out the possibility of another extra end game this afternoon. Connor Negavan looking to come around the corner guard. Brothers with last rock here in the 6th, looking to try to generate some points. Just light as much as there. He does get a piece of the 12-foot, but if he'd had 3 feet more weight, they would have had enough room to get that buried. Half exposed right now. on the brush right out of his hand here. Now they back away. I think the early sweep is just make sure we were by the guard, trust it to curl at the end. Makes the yellow go away, rolls over behind the center guard. McDonald sits 2. Derek Samagalski being asked to run the guard back, move something in the rings. Don't know if he can get all 3 of them. Those 2 in the house look to be very close together. Get some things moving though. Kills one of the stones in the rings, the other one staggered. Good angle now on those top 2 to make a double on the next one. So Jordon McDonald looking for the come around here. They'd like to make sure this is deep enough so that it doesn't line up with those 2, leave a triple. Has to make the port first. This is a long ways out there. Waiting on it to curl. There it goes, starting to come now. Oh, he's got nice line through the port. Boy, look how much that curls, and that's been that way all week. Almost hit the outside guard, and if the yellow guard close to the center line was the only one there, it would be 2/3 exposed. Got the nose hit double. They looked at maybe taking a run at the angle run in just to get the guard off the center line as well, but I think they've decided ultimately it's really important to get these 2 reds out of the way first. They're overlapped. Even if you just hit this right on the beak, stay there, kill the 2 reds, and you've got another rock you might be able to run in later. He overcurled a little bit and was very thin on the second one, leaves it in play. McDonald sitting 2 right now. And I believe the call here was to guard the yellow run back. Well, he did make a gesture at the end like he was thinking about coming around. Well, this looks like the guard. This line is tight early. They're hoping it stops now. And look at the spin on that. I don't know whether that picked or not. It's not a normal amount of rotation. Now the brusher stayed with it when it was going to over curl. They actually bring it into the 12-foot. It is buried, sitting 3 now. Reid's looking at running the yellow straight back. I thought he might look at running it on the corner towards the one on the side of the 12-foot. Looked like they settled on the straight back. Yellow onto red, and if you hit it just right, you could clip the shot stone as well. Close. Oh, a little unfortunate there. He dead jams it on the stone at the top of the 4-foot. Leaves it in behind cover. McDonald again looking to cover the short yellow run. Got a lot of ice here now. We do see a lot of effort to clean this pad. I still think that last one had to pick something. Might even pick before he let go, so he spun it. Does look like a lot of ice on this turn. Switch the brush now, trying to get a little extra curl. I'd like to get it back to cover that yellow stone. I'm not really going to. That just looked like a lot of ice on that in turn, which has seemed to be a little bit straighter this afternoon, straighter than the other side of the sheet. Leaves room for Catlin Schneider to try to promote that Yellowstone onto shot rock. The shooter would stay to guard it. This could flip the script on this end in one shot. Makes the hit. Onto the shot stone. Rolls it over just a little bit, but he does sit shot rock. In behind cover. McDonald thought about coming around. He's a little bit worried there's still a yellow one up there that could be used to run back, so he's going to play the run back of his own. It's the red stone, the widest corner guard, into shot stone. Thought about coming around, but he decided, well, if we make it, they're going to play that run back again, and they could be sitting 2. Skip stones left to come here in the 6th end. This is the first from Jordon McDonald looking for the run back. Red onto yellow, clips it. Enough to remove it, but he will lose the run back stone as well. Gives Reid the chance to come around those guards. Reid would probably like to dead bury this as high in the rings as he can get away with, because you come to the 4-foot, even bite the button, Jordon will just follow it down, sit on top of you, and I don't know how you get in for a second one. You need to leave yourself some room here. Now this does appear to be the side that curls a little bit more, so he should be able to get well under cover here. Rushers are down right away, and I think that was our sheet. They're calling hard line. This is getting tight to that guard already. Reid's had a few struggles with draw weight today too, and this is going to be well short as well. Flashes off the guard. Actually closes the port down on that side. Not much left for Reid on the other side of the sheet. Jordon looking at the come around, and his first thought here, which is interesting, I thought, he tapped the ice just at the top 12, because if you stop in the top 12, how does Reid get in? As much as you don't have a rock better than just barely biting the 8-foot right now, there's no way to get into the 8-foot. Reid might be forced to play, what would it be, about a 15-foot draw tap on the rock that he just threw. It might be his only way in. That was the first thought. They are looking to come right to the 4-foot, and it'll still be the same problem for Reid. He won't be able to get at it to get shot raw. That draw weight tap on the one that he just threw might be all he has left. So Jordon McDonald having to go really wide for the in-turn draw here. Rushers picked it up right out of his hand. Got to make some rings here. Looks like the weight's okay. It's curling nicely now. Boy, wants to stop in front of the tee line. Did that slide a little too deep? Has Reid got enough room to come down? He might have to move that. But that might be easier than the 15-foot tap back draw. Have to think those are the two options they're looking at right now. Don't think they were looking at the tap back draw. I think I heard Catlin say the raised double, which would be a nose hit on the wider yellow guard. There's still a good 12 to 15 feet between the first two stones. Those are tough. If this is there, it's definitely the more appealing shot. The question is, when it's that much straighter today on this turn and he has to have enough weight to move it, will he get enough finish? I don't think he can get to the inside, so he's got to move it. Reid Carruthers with his final stone in the 6th, facing 2. Has to have a delicate little hack weight shot, and they're on the offside sweep trying to get curl already. This is in danger of going by everything. It will. He had probably hack weight on it. It's going to be a steal of 2. Jordon McDonald with a 3-point lead now after 6 ends of play. Reid Carruthers will have last rock. We'll see if he can mount the comeback when we're back for end number 7.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Well, a big steal of 2 for Jordon McDonald in the 6th end. He now takes 3-point lead into the 7th. Reid Carruthers still with last rock here in this semifinal. He'll look to get something going here in the 7th and can pick up his 2. Try to steal the 8th and maybe push it to an extra end. Shawn, Joyce with you here live. Saville Shootout semifinal action on Curling Stadium, Edmonton. We have been here since Friday morning at the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. 20 women's teams, 20 men's teams started out play. We're down to 4 of each right now. And in just about a half an hour's time, it might be as few as 2 of each. It might take 45 minutes to get there. Reid Carruthers needs to pull out the stops a little bit here in this 7th end. He'd like to get 2. He's got corner guards on either side. 3s happen every once in a while, so he'll play with as many corners as he can for as long as he can. By contrast, Jordon McDonald wants to keep the play in the rings. Ideally, he'd like to get the force. He's okay with the 2. He doesn't want to give up any chance at 3. Brought the first 2 into the rings. Still just the 5th stone of the end, so we can't peel guards yet. Looking to bring another one in. Not looking to bury it, I wouldn't think. Probably looking to stay out in the open somewhere. Well, it looks like he's thinking to try to choke off that corner guard. Just get it close to edge, maybe a sliver underneath. It makes it hard for Reid to come around cold. He might have to move this stone. Not sure I like that call. Reid's going to try to move something here. He's got a couple to work with. Looks like he's going to try to move the red stone on the other side of the center line. Just tap it behind the tee line. Leave a shooter in the front of the house somewhere. That's a great shot. Taps it behind the tee line, behind the corner guard. McDonald will walk up to feel that corner guard. Going to be very thin if he hits the first one at all, and it's going to go right through everything. Well, I get to make my second reference of the weekend to the same Bugs Bunny cartoon. Anybody here is old enough to remember Marvin the Martian? That's what I think about in those situations. Marvin the Martian. Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. A little spring in the step of Reid Carruthers now, as he's going to have some things to work with. He's got a corner guard and a rock behind the tee line. They're trying to play the freeze on that now. This has got a curl. It's still on the rock in the 12-foot right now. Starting to move. by. He's got a nice line if they've got it all the way to it. Good job on the brush to bring that right back to the tee line. Stays cornered on the inside of the red stone, back 8 foot. Now Jordan looking at what possibilities there might be for a double. Need to angle the yellow guard, the one they just played, but from the other turn, angle it onto the one in the 12 foot. That was his first thought. Going back to just playing the straight peel on it now. You have to be a little careful playing it this way. You threw the stone in the 12 foot on the other side to choke off the corner guard. If you ever hit thin on the guard, you might come across and kill that red stone. Kind of like that. So now the corner guard's not choked off anymore. McDonald sitting 2. Third shot, the one in the 8 foot, belongs to Reid Carruthers. Talked briefly about coming around the corner guard. The problem is you leave a double off this one in the 12 foot, so they're going to play it straight back first. Try to jiggle those 2 in the 4 foot. I don't think they're throwing big weight at this. Just trying to move the 2 in the 4 foot, not try to kill everything. Wants to be close to the nose here, maybe just across it ever so slightly. It's close. Tap, tap, enough to move the back one, and he leaves the first tap stone in front of the red. Boy, look where the other 2 reds ended up. There's a pocket behind the only red that's easy to remove right now, or would be easy to remove if it wasn't for the 2 reds behind it. There isn't a yellow stone in the rings that's easy to remove now. There's jams everywhere. Just making his way down, take a look at the situation as well. Talking about making a play on that Yellowstone at the back 8, just because I got to kill one of those reds if they're ever going to be able to get it out. To me, the problem with this is you make the shot, your shooter rolls over to the back of the 4 foot, and you put another stone in behind that one at the top. Not a lot of weight here, and this is starting to curl. He's got to get by the stone at the top of the 12 foot. Not going to get by it. We'll chip it in over towards the corner guard. It stops while it's still out in the open. That's important. Actually, they now have an angle to get a double on the 2 yellows at the top of the house. Reid Carruthers probably going to look to do something about that here. Derek looking at another freeze on the side, but I think that just leaves a triple. There's too many brushes in the house now. I can't keep straight. I think it was Catlin You could come down and tap the stone that was just moved over, put it in behind the corner guard, roll in front of your yellow, just kind of a split. That's a great result if you make it. Tough shot. One they haven't talked about yet, and we're on third's last stone. They could drive yellow onto red in the middle right now, roll the shooter over towards the other two. Because when that yellow comes back, that 6 more inches, the yellow double at the front is awful close to jamming into the reds at the back. Right now it's angled to go over those two, but if you move that rock back another 6 inches, it might not. No matter what draw they settle on here, the issue is going to be what kind of angles can you leave behind. And that's everything they're discussing with every shot they're looking at is what angles are we going to leave behind. Play that straight back. He's just playing the double on the 2 on that side. Just nothing to jam on over there. So I think they've settled on the freeze on the inside corner to their own third shot at the back of the 8-foot. And part of the discussion there was they've got to be on the inside corner because you might have the double on the top 2. It's going to come towards that, so you want to leave everything angled to jam onto the red behind it. You might have to leave you 3 that way. Like to stay on the inside corner here. Probably important to make sure it stays on the inside corner, even if they have to sweep it for line. You could tap it a couple inches. As long as you leave it on that line, you're in pretty good shape yet. This has got a lot of room. They actually went to an audible at the end. They didn't want to chip off the yellow, so they got it by the yellow, nudged the other red. Leaves them sitting second, third, and fourth. And I'm not sure who's got fifth. I think it's the red at the back. The one they just tapped is fifth. But I still don't see an easy double for the McDonald team to get rid of 2 yellows. Could try to freeze that pocket, try to eliminate a bunch of them. That's a risky call when you're without last rock here. He might have room to hit the stone that was just thrown right on the nose, or actually a little bit on the outside, and come into the side of that other yellow, move it over a little bit. I don't think he could ever get it out, but he might be able to get it far enough over. He could get it out on the next one. He's wondering if he can hit the yellow at the top of the forefoot, miss the red, drive it into the pocket of the two yellows, the back four. They might both leave then, and he might lose some of that backing. The shooter will come across and take out the other yellow. That might be the best result if he can make it. Does look like it might be able to go by the red to make that shot. It's a tough shot. The danger, and that might be what's causing the hesitation in playing that yellow slash, is if you ever touch it off the red, it's just going to come across, jam yellow onto yellow, or yellow onto red at the back. You're probably going to leave three yellows in the rings. And kill two reds. We've Reid with a chance to sit four. Although he should have three of them grouped at the back. You might have something you could do with those. I still think that might be the way they go. That might be the best call. He's looking at it long and hard. The only question I can see is whether or not they think it gets by the red. Kind of looks like there's room to get it by the red at the top of the button here. You're trying to hit the rock, splitting the center line first, miss the red at the top of the button. Your shooter will come across and kick the other one out the side. The yellow stone you hit first should go close to the pocket of those other two yellows. Got to hope you're killing at least one of them and some of the backing. Don't think he's going to be light here. Needs to have this top yellow clear the red on the top of the button. If he touches that red in the top of the button, it'll redirect and probably dead jams into the yellow. He'll only lose one red. Well, he might be on the outside yellow first, which still kills it. Jiggles things around, but looks like Reid Carruthers sitting two. He's also got fourth. And third shot stone, the one that just moved back to the back of the forefoot, is accessible. First thought was to hit the red, and that ultimately that's probably what they're going to play, although it's not a guarantee yet. They're looking at where these yellows go when Jordon has a chance to play a hit on them. Is there a way he can kill two? And I don't know if there is. Just looking at the overhead. The yellow on the tee line at the forefoot, tough to get it to go anywhere. You'd have to pick it so paper thin. I don't think it leaves. Certainly doesn't leave right now. The red's in the way. Again, from the overhead, the yellow that's completely in the 8 foot at about the 4 o'clock position, it's jamming. You might be able to get the one that's just half in the 4 foot. You might be able to get it to fly, and then it's a question of where your shooter stays. If he was to nose hit that yellow, Reid would have a hard time getting the red one out. But if he nose hits the red at the back, he might already be sitting 2, and it would be a draw for 3. Well, ultimately, I think they've decided they're going to make the play on the 4th shot stone, the stone at the back of the forefoot, on the other side. Doesn't look like there's a lot that Jordon can do with the 3 that are grouped together. Might be able to kill 1. I think the other 2 are always staying. First stone, 7th end for Reid Carruthers. Trailing by 3 as we play here in the 6th, but a chance to sit 4 if he can make the hit and stay right there. Calling for some curl. He doesn't want to roll towards the yellows, leave a pocket. Hits, stays right there. Jordon eyeing up the double, and he called it quick. So trying to come off the one on the side of the forefoot, just at the 3 o'clock position, come across to the one that was just thrown. The one he makes contact first will hit the yellow that's fully in the 8 foot. That'll jam on the red. But I think he's hoping that it'll come across and kick the other yellow, the one at the 430 position, I guess, of the back forefoot. Hopes it kicks it out of the rings. He's going to leave 2 yellows in somewhere. Makes the hit, comes across. Oh, that's outstanding action. He did leave the second yellow in, but he got it to spin far enough that right now Carruthers just sitting 1. Or pardon me. It's McDonald sitting 1. Carruthers has second shot. There is a thin double there. Try to score his 3 and tie things up. You can throw this with quiet weight. You don't have to move the second stone very far. And if it over curls, you get 2. Keeps you alive playing the last end. Play this with some weight and hit the first one too thick. Roll across the top or even into the back of your yellow. You might only get 1 here. Only been 1 point scored with last rock so far in this game. Reid Carruthers with last stone here in the 7th. Looking to change that. They're on the brush right away. He's got to be very thin on the contact on the first one. Now they're calling for a curl. Maybe overswept it, makes contact. Does get the 2 of them. And I couldn't see with all the bodies if the back one stayed. But I think Reid Carruthers just picked up his 3. We might be all tied up going into the 8th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Reid Carruthers with outstanding final shot in 7 with last rock, makes the paper-thin double, sticks his shooter at the back of the 12-foot. We'll pick up 3 points, and we're all tied up. 7 ends has decided nothing. Jordon McDonald had last rock when we started this game. Has last rock again here in the 8th. Center guard throwing up to start the end. The come-around attempt goes deep. Reid's going to look for the second guard here. I think the question is which turn do they want to play this. The first one's it's a little higher than halfway, but it does make it tough to get separation on the second guard. So a little discussion over which turn they want to play. Opting for the in turn, which if anything might be just a hair straighter, which leaves him the side that curls when he comes around everything. Which might be part of the thinking there. Nothing out of the brushers yet. Came right into the rings. The call was definitely for the guard. It does come in. It is buried. Full 8-foot. McDonald's first thought is to try to move it. Now, this is the straighter turn, which means they're going to have to be a little tighter to the guard to make this shot. The guard is on the center line. The line looks pretty good, starting to curl. Got to get by that front one. Oh, they do. Makes the tap, pushes it onto the red at the back, so it is still the Carruthers stone sitting shot rock at the back of the 8-foot, but that's a much better situation for Jordon McDonald, and that stone of his own at the top of the 8-foot is one that he could still use as well. As much as Reid Carruthers would like to be playing draws, he knows that stone's a problem, and also talked about trying to tap it back. I think they're going to play the straight draw for now. Put this anywhere in the 4-foot. I think Jordon McDonald's peeling the guard anyway. Well, that might have picked before he even let go, because Derek's looking at a scratch or something on the ice. Looks like he might have had to give it a little bit to make sure he got a clean release. And when he added that to it, it's a little heavy. I call the sweep on at the end just to make sure it stays on the red at the back. So he is sitting 2 right now, but they're back 8 foot. Derek with his broom down. It might not have been the rock that caught it. Actually, might have been his sliding broom. Kind of looks like with where they're cleaning up, there might have been something underneath. I think he uses a... I'd have to see it for sure. There are some that use a steel slider on there, but it looks like he might have had something under the broom, and it's left a scratch, which would have slowed him down on the way out. So he added some weight on the release. Actually, looking at the house, I think you could even see the scratch, unless that's just a glare in the ice. Well, that's a deep scratch if you can see it on the camera angle. Regardless, it gives them a chance to peel the guard now. Those 2 stones in the back of the house aren't really going to be a concern. Reid will likely look to replace the center guard for now. Derek had gone to the next sheet. He was trying the broom. Whatever caused the scratch may have left a mark in his broom. I do think it is... he uses some tape on it, so he might have gone to retape it. Maybe he's feeling that the broom is going to leave a scratch now. I think he's the only one on the team that throws with the broom on the ice like that, so there won't be another one there he can use. So Derek has gone off to the side to make a few equipment repairs. Not even really much else to talk about for us. He's got to throw the center guard. Well, we're on second's final stone right now. You're probably going to throw at least 3 more centers. You got shot and second at the back. You can't think that those are good enough to steal with. So at some point in time, Reid's going to have to make a play into the top of the house, even if he doesn't have guards to work with. If you wait to your last one, well, Reid's got a steel device in his hand, so it is, and that is one of those, I've seen those before. I wonder if his steel slider broke off, so he's gone and taped up the broom, so he's going to have to slide straight on the broom, or does he have a spare? Put it down on the ice when he first came out just to cool it off a little bit before he throws, and I think we're just about ready to get underway now. Looks like you might want to take one practice slide. They'll take it next door on the sheet that's not being used. That makes a lot of sense, just in case something is going to go wrong. Never a great time for something like that to happen, but here when you're in a tie game coming home, really needed a good draw on that first one, and then to have that happen, have to add to it. It was just a total guess, and things didn't go well for them. Play the guard now. You know that McDonald's going to peel it. That'll probably happen twice more. I think Reid Carruthers will have to come in on his first one. You come in on the last one, you make it too good, it's going to be a very short run back. I think you almost might have to tempt him to play that on the first one and then hope something spills to a good spot for you. Hamanicki with the peel. 2 peels for him this end. Catlin Schneider with another guard attempt here. I will say, as a past player, it always seems a little bit more tiring when you're the team throwing the guards here, because, of course, it takes you 25 seconds to get that guard up, and by the time you make it back to the hack, it's already gone. One more guard for sure. Expect McDonald to peel it again, and then you might see the Carruthers team have a discussion what they want to do with Reid's first stone. You could guard one more time, let him peel it, know you're coming around. Of course, McDonald knows you're going to do that. He might not just peel, although I have to think he feels pretty good about the situation with that stone on the top of the 8-foot. Dallas Burgess with one more peel attempt. And now Reid Carruthers having to decide what he wants to do with this stone. My first thought is back button. And you put it there, he's going to try to slash both of the 2 out of the front. You got nothing to hide behind. If you come back button, see if you can't tempt him into coming to play the freeze or the straight run back. And if he dead nuts it, you freeze to it again. Derek wondering, do you hit that red, let him hit it back, you come to the top of the 8-foot, and he's going to have to draw cold. Looks like they've decided to throw one more guard. Trust that he'll peel it. Some of that discussion would have been, where could we put the last one if we just let him peel one more guard? No. Skip stones left to come in the 8th. This is the first from Reid Carruthers. Pretty sure we're not going to an extra end. I'm not seeing a blank coming here. Looking for the guard. Reid has had some struggles with draw weight today. They really have to go to get this. Wants it right back to the center line. Needs to cover a piece of that red, and does. Needing to cover just in case Jordon decides not to. He is going to draw. This surprises me. I thought he'd peel for sure. And just because that red stone at the top of the 8-foot, anything Reid makes, it is going to be such a short run back. A factor in this could be the fact that the in-turn side is a little straight, so he's got a come around available on the out turn. Even if you just get to nibble the top 4-foot, that would force Reid Carruthers to try to come around from the in-turn side. He might have a hard time burying around a stone at the top of the 8-foot. He can make it from this out-turn side for sure, but the in-turn's a little straighter. Needs to bite the 4-foot here. If he's full 8, Reid will just try to come around everything. If he's back 4-foot, Reid will freeze to it. I still think you should peel the guard. He had something in mind that he saw from the hack in, but he came down and he still feels good about the draw. Jordon McDonald with his first stone, looking for the come around, needs to bite the top of the 4-foot. Behind cover. Rushers were on it early. Room by the guard. Room by the stone in the rings, but this comes to the back of the 4-foot, and that is not where he wanted that stone. Reid Carruthers can follow it down. He can dead freeze to it if you want to force him to draw. If you leave yourself a couple of inches of separation, I don't know that he can score without moving it, and that's tough. But then he does have the slash if he can see enough of it. Well, Reid Carruthers pulled a rabbit out of the hat in the 7th end to pick up 3 and tie things up coming home. He's got a chance here with his last stone. Lock a freeze on at the back of the button, and Jordon McDonald is going to have a very difficult shot to try to win this game. Rushers are close early. I think the indication is this has got some weight. It's going to have to curl then. He might be a little strong. Reid Carruthers has had some troubles with his draw weight in this game. He's a little strong on that freeze attempt. Just comes off the edge of the red. Jordon McDonald will not have to throw his final stone. He picks up the 5-4 victory over Reid Carruthers here in this men's semifinal. That will move him into the final. Final scheduled for 3 o'clock. We're not quite finished the 2 semifinals yet, so we'll be a little bit behind time, but stay with us. Finals yet to come, men's and women's action. You can see it all at the Curling Stadium Edmonton. Find it directly on the YouTube channel or link to the games from curlingzone.com. My name's Shawn Joyce. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you again for the final in just a few minutes.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.